With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back, Trackside. Once again, race fans here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Where's Turn 4 200 from Pocono Raceway. That's right, it's cutoff time once again with the Blown Piston Racing League Truck Series presented to you by Banner Construction. The Tricky Triangle hosts tonight's final cutoff race before we set our championship for a little bit of a ways to go before we get down to seeing who's going to walk away with a shot at the championship trophy next week at Nashville Super Speedway. But first, how you doing? How you feeling out there in TV Land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave of the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. 5-minute qualifying session already underway. as drivers begin to click off some lap times. We will get that over there to the left-hand side of your screen for you. For now, there you can see your track information. Nice cool breeze up here in the Pocono Mountains for tonight's race. 77-degree track temperature, so there should be some grip out there. Drivers going to be searching to find the right lines that suit their trucks. Typically, we see crew chiefs and drivers really able to get out there and hook up the truck in at least 2 of the 3 corners, but it seems like you do give up some speed in at least one of those corners. Hard to get all 3 down pat and right for the entire night. And with 2 minutes off of the stopwatch here tonight in the U.S. Veterans Polo Award, nobody laying down a time lap just yet. And just as we say that, that fast is always at the front. 52 of Kevinick lays down a fast time. Andrew Moore going to put it top of the speed charts now. We'll get that information over there. There it is, popping up for you right now with Andrew Moore in his Toyota Tundra sitting top of the speed charts. Quick time here in qualifying belonging to Andrew Moore. 53.83 is the fast time to beat here tonight. Will anybody dethrone him for that U.S. Veterans Polo Award? As the music begins to fade, the time fades away as well, down to just 2 minutes remaining here in qualifying. Which one of these drivers will take the top spot? And AJ Green gonna bump Moore from that top spot. Quick time now belongs to AJ Green, and Kevin Dick, he's having none of it. He's going to put that 52 Chevy Silverado back at the top of the speed charts. 53.80 now the fast time for your pole sitter. Handful of drivers still out there laying down their time lapse. You can see multiple drivers lit up in that turn 3 arch. Those are your championship contenders. 6 championship contenders vying for 4 shots here tonight. Field will be whittled down from 8 drivers down to 4. Kevin Dick already into the final round in a shot for the championship next week at Nashville Super Speedway, walking away with the race win 2 weeks ago when we hit the track, snatching the first race win in round number 2, setting Kevin Dick up with an easy run towards a championship chance. We'll see who else we got out there. Looks like Jim Thorndike, he's already slotted in outside of the top 10. And now with 60 seconds remaining on the stopwatch here in the U.S. Veterans Polo Award, I believe that's going to be it. That's going to be all for all of the drivers out there. Colin Forrester with a good run here in qualifying. He's going to break inside the top 5. Ken, your race winner from last week at North Wilkesboro, walk away with back-to-back winning performances and put a 3rd win in that winner's column beside his name. We've got 80 laps to figure that out. 30 seconds left in qualifying. So that's going to be it here in the U.S. Veterans Polo Award qualifying session. We're going to take a brief commercial break, then head down trackside for your national anthem and starting grid. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And back trackside as the track opens back up for a short 5-minute shakedown for these truck drivers. Everybody begins to hit the track, try to make a few final changes and adjustments for tonight's Where's Turn for 200 right here from Pocono Raceway, brought to you by Facebook Custom Paints and Diecasts. And it's one of the final 2 races of the season, race fans, so drivers beginning to really lock themselves in. Kevin Dick walking into tonight's race, all he's got to do is start and park. Really didn't even have to come to the track here tonight, but there he goes out in the U.S. Veterans Pole Award qualifying session and snatches that top spot. He's going to put a little bit more money in his back pocket with yet another pole position here so far this season. And you know, we'll get to some point standings because it's gonna be pretty tight. It's gonna be pretty close for a handful of these drivers to go out there and make their way into that championship four. And well, speaking of your championship standings, let's go ahead and throw it up on screen here. Get a little rundown on how things are looking coming in to tonight's final cutoff race in the season before we set our championship for Kevin Dick, your pole sitter, already locked in for the championship night at Nashville Superspeedway next Friday night. Mark it down on your calendars. You don't want to miss that one. Andrew Moore, Anthony Keys, AJ Green, your top 4. Above the cutoff line, the man on the bubble is AJ Green, but he's got himself a little bit of a buffer zone. Back to Chris Scala, Zach Alanin, Jim Thorndike, Andrew Mraz rounding out the grade 8. Shooting it out for a championship contention. And with Mraz not in the field here tonight, Zach Halanen also not in the field. Both of those drivers will drop out, and we are going to be left with just 6 drivers. Just 6 drivers left going after this championship position. So we've got 3 spots still to fill. And we've got 5 drivers fighting for him. Chris Scala is going to need to pick up some speed. He's 42 points behind that cutoff line. There you can see in the point standing, Scala sitting in 5th, 42 points behind the cutoff line. He is in a must-win situation, being 42 points back, as well as Jim Thorndike. Thorndike sitting 51 points back behind that cutoff line. Both of those drivers have put themselves in must-win situations to walk away with an opportunity to run for a championship next Friday night. So look for both the 33 and the 13 to maybe mix up the strategy and do things a little bit different. 2 stages in tonight's race. First stage coming to a close at lap 16. Second stage at the halfway point on lap number 40. It's 80 laps, 200 miles around the tricky triangle. And as we leave that point standings up for you, you notice some battles back there throughout the running order. How about the close battle between Ryan Nicoletta and Brandon Alpin? Just 20 points separating them. Lance Hill 5 points ahead of Nicoletta, so that's a tight trio of trucks in the point standings. Mark Bruning looking to make up some ground as well, sitting right there in 14th. Scott Wise and Scotty Brown knotted up back there at 510 points apiece. Look for both of those drivers to make a splash here tonight, both in the field, both with good qualifying efforts, and well, with about just maybe 2 minutes left on this short 5-minute shakedown session. The rest of your point standings look a little something like this coming into tonight's race. "15 races in the book, just 2 more until we crown a champion here in season number 3 for the Blown Piston Racing League's Truck Series, presented to you by Banner Construction. Do want to take a moment to thank each and every one of the sponsors coming on board this year, whether it be the U.S. Veterans Pole Award, Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast coming out and sponsoring not only tonight's race, but multiple races this season, also sponsoring the Stage 2 win. The Wise Guy Racing Graphics all year long, sponsoring the Stage 1 win. The New Age Limited Speed Demon Award, sponsored all year long here. Driver with the fastest lap walking away with that New Age Limited Speed Demon Award. We've also got the Wise Choice Contracting front man. And how about the Martin Sports Hard Charger to the driver that has gained the most positions throughout tonight's race? And every race, really. Want to give a big shout out to each and every one of them. Also a big shout out to Top Groove for sponsoring the Hard Charger Award over in the Clash Series right here with the Blown Piston Racing Leagues, both presented to you and brought to you by Banner Construction. So a big shout out to Banner Construction for everything and all they do. And well, we're down to just the last few final moments before we kick things off here tonight from Pocono Raceway. Tell you what, let's see if we can't get a little closer to the track, get a little look at my favorite turn. There it is, turn 3, right here at the Tricky Triangle. And there you go, checkered flag will wave on this shakedown session, and drivers will get set to head to the starting grid, and we'll get set to kick things off here tonight from Pocono Raceway. Race fans, are you ready? Because these drivers are ready to pound the pavement here tonight in Pocono, Pennsylvania. Drivers beginning to make their way to pit lane. There you can see them all beginning to make their way through final pre-race inspection. The last few drivers making their way now to the starting grid. And you can hear in the background those familiar bells begin to ring. You know the sound. You know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup in the Wares Turn for 200. Brought to you by Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast. Rolling off inside row number 1. Your pole sitter here tonight inside that fast 52 Chevy Silverado. Kevin Dick takes the top spot. 43 of AJ Green will line up just to his outside. Rolling off in row number 2 will be the 77 of Andrew Moore, followed by the 45 of Colin Forrester. Chris Scala, Brandon Alpin back in row number 3. Row number 4 here tonight from the Tricky Triangle, the 14 of Anthony Keys, followed by the 59 of Ryan Nicoletta. The Drift King, Jacob Drift, inside of his 15. The Chevy Silverado will line up inside row number 5 in that 9th position. And rounding out your top 10 tonight, the 70 of Scotty Brown. Mark Bruning and Jim Thorndike rounding out a row number 6. Row number 7 tonight from Pocono, the 31 of Scott Wise, followed by the 37 of Frank Reese. Shotgun Sally, tail end of the field here tonight. 17, Toyota Tundra 4X Racing driver Casey Duncan rounds out this 15 truck field here tonight as drivers make their way through turn number 2. we will get set to fire things off this time around. 200 miles in tonight's official race distance. That's right, 80 laps for these drivers to lay down some fast times, and we're going to get set to go racing for the first time here tonight in Pocono. Good buddy Travis Smith and that Chevy Silverado pace truck will duck off this time around. And as the music fades away, the engines will come to life and we will go green flag racing here at Pocono. Side by side, as can be expected, down into turn number 1, jockeying for positions. A handful of truck drivers going 2, almost 3 wide already here. Lap number 1, turn number 1. Kevin Dick still leads the field. Andrew Moore side by side for a moment. He's going to slide up the track and into that second position. AJ Green sporting that pink machine here tonight, sitting in third. 1, 2, 3, all championship contenders. Colin Forrester, Chris Scala going at it right here for 4th and 5th on the racetrack, side by side through the tunnel turn for a handful of drivers. 70 of Scotty Brown makes 2 positions on this restart so far. Initial start of the race got some action already. Scotty Brown moving forward, Mark Bruning, Jim Thorndike, Scott Wise, everybody moving back, but Jacob Drift, he's falling back. And off of turn number 3, crossing the line. First lap now in the bag for your U.S. Veterans Pole Award winner, setting the pace here tonight inside of that Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast Chevy Silverado is Kevin Dick. Out of turn number 1 and coming right at you down this stretch, the long pond straightaway into the tunnel turn. Everybody chasing after that 52. Everybody lined up trying to grab the position away down now into the tunnel turn. Oh, we got a big move right here on the outside. Will he stick it? Yeah, it looks like he's going to make that work out. And now we'll move our way down into my favorite turn of them all, turn 3, right here from Pocono Raceway. Side by side there for Scala, side by side moment for Chris Scala and Colin Forrester. Oh, and one truck into the outside wall. I believe that may have been Anthony Keys possibly. 45 of Colin Forrester trying to keep Chris Scala at bay. Scala is in a must-win situation, and last time around he laid down the fast lap of the race. 54.01 is the fast time here, snatching for the moment that New Age Limited Speed Demon Award. Still a very long way to go before we know who walks away with a little more money in their pocket with that Speed Demon Award. But Scala not really concerned with accolades and awards. He just wants a shot to run for a championship. He's going to have to get to victory lane to do so, and we'll continue to see it all unfold here tonight live from Pocono Raceway. You're watching the Where's Turn 4 200. We'll jump around the track just a little bit. What do you say we go back to this little bit of a hornet's nest? 59 of Brian Nicoletta battling with Scotty Brown, Mark Bruning, Scott Wise, Jim Thorndike, all right here. Jacob Drift, Casey Duncan holding on to this pack as well. There you can see that 17 machine. He's up one position. Frank Grease drops from 14th to 15th and still mixing it up. Right here side by side on the outside lane is Scotty Brown trying to make up some ground, but just not having any headway. The Turtle Wax 31 of Scott Wise down to the bottom of the racetrack, making it work on the bottom through the tunnel turn 2 wide, or turn 3. I apologize, my bad. Thought we were still over there on that backstretch, but drivers so fast here tonight, they've already made their way back to turn 3, across the stripe, and down into turn number 1. No changes at the front of the field. Kevin Hick still leads by 0.2 of a second. Andrew Moore, AJ Green rounding out those top 3 spots. Still battling for position is Colin Forrester and Chris Scala. 4th and 5th, hot and heavy battle for the moment. Scott Wise able to get his way by Scotty Brown, and now Rooney looks to the inside for a moment, not going to take the chance just yet. Possibly going to have a look to the inside here on the entry to turn number 3. Bruning with a good run through the tunnel turn, and there it is. There's that move. Bruning dives to the bottom of the racetrack. Will he be able to keep that? 21 Pineapple sponsored 61 Toyota Tundra wound up, and no, he's going to lose a position here going for the pass. Going to drop one spot. Here comes Jacob Drift now to the inside of Brown, and he will pick that position up. Close battles near the tail end of the pack. Close battles near the front as well. 1, 2, 3 on the racetrack, still within 4/10 of a second of each other. A little bit of a gap, 3/10 to be exact. Off of the tail end of AJ Green to find Colin Forrester. There you can see that 45 truck making his way through the tunnel turn, trying to run down the drivers in front. Why don't we go on board here? Let's get a little onboard camera shot. We'll ride with Forrester for a moment. A handful of drivers allowing us to get some cameras on top of the helmets there and give you a little bit of a view from their seat. Kind of content right now in that he's got one of the best helmets in the field. I tell you what, do we got the office shot? We've got that. Let's go to the office shot here. And it looks like baby Colin Forrester not having the office shot. There it is. Look at that. I'm telling you what, man. There isn't a better helmet on the sim right now than that right there. Look at Colin Forrester sporting that emoji helmet here tonight. And Pocono crash helmet being utilized here tonight. It will be auctioned off for charity after the event. We'll have to see how much that picks up for the charity a little bit later on after the fact. Kevin Dick still leading this field. Andrew Moore right there. The Golf Racing Fuel 77 Toyota Tundra has been fast over the course of the past few weeks and showing some speed once again here tonight from Pocono. Lap number 8 now goes on the board. And I hear you out there in the chat. Scott got that throwback on for me this week. Didn't have it quite at North Wilkesboro last week. It is what it is, my man. We do appreciate the gesture. Heck of a ride to be, to be honest. Let's go back here. Let's get a closer look if we can. Can we get zoom in on that? There you go. Check out that old Turtle Wax paint scheme coming back to life here tonight on track at Pocono Raceway. Scott Wise sporting a fine little paint scheme here tonight for us, representing that throwback weekend we were having last Friday night at North Wilkesboro Speedway. A handful of drivers showed up with their throwbacks on, and if you missed it, you missed yourself. One heck of a race, one heck of a night. Jump back around the track just a little bit. What do you say, race fans? Back to your top 4 as Colin Forrester has stepped away from Brandon Alpin and Chris Scala. He's beginning to run down those top 3 truck drivers. And trying to look at the pace here. We haven't quite fallen off a full second yet, so the tire wear looking good for these drivers as far as the speed charts are concerned. We don't know how the grip level is out there for them. That's just something that we have to try to guess at unless we get some contact with the driver throughout tonight's race, whether it be under a caution or a stage break. We'll see if we can't get a hold of a driver or two and get a little insight on how this track is racing here tonight at Pocono Raceway. We've seen it in qualifying and happy hour. Track very, very cool. Under the 80-degree mark, so a lot of grip should be in this track. And it looks like the tail end of these trucks are pretty happy, pretty stable. So it looks to be that there is some grip, there is some speed. But as they lay down the rubber, as these tires heat up, as the track heats up, is the grip level going to stay the same? Are these drivers going to end up slipping and slide around as the back end gets a little bit lighter and the fuel load burns off? A long way still to go here. We've got ourselves about 6 laps remaining before the end of stage number 1. Who will walk away with the wise choice, the wise guy graphic stage 1 win? for all intents and purposes, it looks like the man that has dominated in stage number 2. We've seen him snatch multiple stage number 2s for the sponsor on board his machine. The Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast 52 does have the most stage 2 wins. How ironic is that? How special is that for not only that driver and team, but also the sponsor as well? Sponsoring tonight's Where's Turn 4 200 right here from Pocono Raceway. Leading the field is the 52 of Kevin Dick. All 11 laps in his back pocket. Everybody content in this top 4 just to kind of run nose to tail. Gaps beginning to develop and situate themselves as drivers settle on in. Chris Scala trying to make a run back to the front. He's dropped 1 position, now back to the 6th spot. Scala, he's going to have to find a way. He's going to have to utilize some strategy if he has to. He's got to get himself to the front. He has got to walk away with the checkered flag to continue his championship hopes and dreams. We'll check in on another championship hopeful right here in his familiar Chicago Blackhawks 13 Chevy Silverado. Jim Thorndike off of turn number 1, chasing down a handful of drivers in front. Thorndike really not able to go anywhere through the first 12 laps of tonight's race. He's still sitting right where he qualified, right in that 12th position. Casey Duncan, one of the biggest movers of the race, that 17 Limeade Toyota Tundra just off in the distance, just off in front. The 17 up 4 positions now in 11. Battle and gaps tightening up just a little bit right here. 59 of Ryan Nicoletta. Scott Wise beginning to go at it for 8th and 9th on the speedway. 3-second gap to the trucks in front. And Roger, jealous. Jealousy out there, Mr. Rios. Jealousy. That's all I'm going to say. I've seen a couple of those pictures that you posted out there in the Discord of the things going on down there in Miami for the first Miami Grand Prix. That's right, F1 hits the streets of Miami this weekend. If you're a racing fan, you're gonna have to tune into this. It's gonna be a one-of-a-kind racetrack. A lot of things going on behind the scenes to make that race happen, and it's gonna be one heck of a night, one heck of a day down in Miami. I can guarantee you that. Seen some of those nasty-looking McLarens on display out there. So, yeah, we do appreciate all the content down there coming from Miami, from Roger Rios, typically in that 5 machine, but unfortunately missing tonight's race to go down there to Miami for the F1 festivities. And, well, you know, hey, we can't necessarily say we fault you for it. One heck of an event to be at in a historical, inaugural event down there in Miami. Roger, stay safe down there, and we hope to see you on track very soon. Hope to catch up with you at Nashville. Meanwhile, final lap here in the Wise Guy Racing Graphics. Stage 1, Kevin Dick off of turn number 3 for the final time and walking away with the stage win here tonight. That will be the Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast 52 machine of Kevin Dick. He'll cross the line. Oh, well, actually, a little premature here. Gave it to him 1 lap too soon. We've still got a lap or 2 here to go. We do apologize, but right now, building that gap, walking away from the 3 trucks behind him is Kevin Dick. Colin Forrester. Forrester was able to reel in Andrew Moore and AJ Green, but in the meantime, Kevin Dick has separated himself from this field, working his way through turn number 2 and back down to turn number 3. This time around, race leader has himself 3/4 of a second advantage. And unless he has a big bobble and a big mistake this next time around, he will walk away with that Wise Guy Racing Graphics Stage 1 win across the line one more time. There it is. Kevin Dick in control of tonight's race, the Where's Turn 4 200. Final lap here in stage number 1, and Kevin Dick has himself almost a 1-second advantage. Let's go back here as drivers beginning to fan out, jockeying for position, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. All the racetrack battling it out. Here comes AJ Green looking for that 2nd spot. bottom. Will he have the position off of turn 2? A little bit of a slide job out of turn 2. Job well done. And AJ Green snatches that second position away. Here comes Colin Forrester looking to the inside. Not going to quite get there. Not going to have the gap or the time to get the job done. And off of turn number 3, back across the stripe for the final time. That's going to be the green, white, checkered, or the green and what is that? The green checkered flag? Yeah, it's the green checkered flag. There it is. The Cobb Sycamore Chevy Buick GMC caution flag flies here, signifying the end of stage number 1. Walking away with the Wise Guy Racing Graphics stage 1 win at the front of the field, leading the entire stage at 52 of Kevin Dick walks away with yet another stage win. AJ Green, Andrew Moore right behind him, right where they started here tonight. Your top 4 finish right where they started. And well, we will begin right where we started here tonight, back behind that Chevy Silverado pace trunk, as pit road will be opened. Drivers will have a chance to have their crew chiefs fix up the machines a little bit, trying to get these trucks dialed in a little bit more, and we will get set to run stage number 2 here in just a couple of moments. So while we've got some time on our hands, why don't we step away for just a brief commercial break, pay a few bills. You know how that goes, race fans, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
And back trackside at the conclusion of the round. The pit stops, the pace truck ready to duck off. And we're ready to fire things off once again. Start of stage number 2 now underway. Ryan Nicoletta takes the top spot by a little bit of strategy. He's going to stay out to pick up that race lead. So we've got one lead change, 2 different race leaders, only one caution flag here tonight coming at the end of stage number 1. And now already that 52 of Kevin fired off from that 3rd starting position, and he is now up to 2nd already, beginning to hound your race leader Ryan Nicoletta, who's got much older tires than the drivers behind him, about 18 laps or so older tires, and that's gonna be a big thing here as the 59 of Nicoletta just moves right on down to the bottom of the racetrack, gets out of the way of the drivers with those fresh tires. Calamity into turn, into turn 2, 3 wide, turn number 3 wide. Did you see? Oh my goodness. Frank Reese, Casey Duncan in the 43 of AJ Green going 3 wide through turn number 3. My gosh. Top 2 drivers, Kevin Andrew Moore, beginning to step away from the field, building that gap. Already a half a second advantage for Moore over Scala. Casey Duncan still battling with a handful of drivers there. You can see 3 wide once again. Colin Forrester stuck in the middle. This is going to get close once again through the tunnel turn. 3 wide through the tunnel turn at Pocono. I don't care how many trucks are on the track. Not necessarily something you want to be doing on a constant, consistent basis. As these truck drivers still sorting things out in the mid-pack, your top 2 drivers beginning to step away. 43 of AJ Green now looks down to the inside on the 17, trying to get a run on Chris Scala, the 33, right there running in that 3rd position. Big move. Colin Forrester with a big move. Look to go 3 wide into turn 1. Thought better of it. He'll grab a position away from Casey Duncan and now pull even with Chris Scala as AJ Green has separated himself by about a truck length or 2. Heading down into turn number 2. Check into the battle at the tail end of the field. Check this one out. Fred Alpin, Scotty Brown, Jacob Drift, all going at it. Scott Wise still running with him right there. You can see that Turtle Wax 31 machine, the tail end of this lead back into what has happened to Jim Thorndike. He is off of the pace, about 1 second back from Scott Wise. That Chicago Blackhawks 13 machine just got all alone right here. Championship contender. Big implications here tonight for Thorndike as he playing a little bit of strategy on the tires and fuel, trying to milk this thing all the way to the end of stage number 2. Gonna be close, gonna be tight whether or not these drivers are gonna be able to make it all the way through stage number 2 without having to come down to pit road, but it's gonna be more of a question for this man. All alone, well off of the pace now, almost a lap down already. Ryan Nicoletta, he has given up a ton of time, but he has come to pit road. He has got those fresh tires, and he has got the fuel, and it looks like Nicoletta playing even more strategy by coming to pit road. He only filled up with fuel, no tires on his machine, and he has got a fast field with fresh tires coming up right behind him. Look for Kevin Dick and Andrew Moore to be on scene here very shortly. With that being said, let's jump around the track. What do you say we go up here and check out what's going on with AJ Green, Colin Forrester right there with Anthony Keys behind him. The Serve Pro 14 machine is sitting in the 5th position. And well, a camera we don't utilize a ton, but we've got a few of them above the track here tonight. What do you say we go high above the racetrack to our turn 3 drone cam here? Take a look, watch this battle unfold from a little bit of different perspective in view. 3 trucks all lined up down into turn number 3. There's Forrester, Keys, Duncan closing in that Limeade 17 machine. How about the turnaround for Mark Bruning? Was running tail end of the field. There you can see that 61 21 Pineapples Toyota Tundra coming into view just off of the background. The Seventh position belongs to Bruni. Frank Reese right there in eighth. Scotty Brown now up a position into a ninth with Jacob Drift rounding out your top 10. Down the back stretch now and towards turn number 2. There you go. Ryan Nicoletta stopping by. There's your race leaders. Everybody going to make their way through turn number 2. Everything looks clean and clear for all the drivers on track as they head into turn number 3 right here from Pocono Raceway. The Turkey Triangle hosting the final race here this season. Piston Racing League's Truck Series. To you by Banner Construction. Back across the stripe, still leading this race is Kevin Dick in front of this field. 2 lead changes here tonight. 2 different race leaders, Kevin Dick and Ryan Nicoletta. Only 2 truck drivers to lead a lap here tonight. Ryan Nicoletta grabbing that top spot for just a lap or 2 under the stage break, electing to stay out on the track. Coming to pit road right about a lap or so after we went back green flag racing here to open up the Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast stage number 2. Nicoletta already down to pit road. The 31 of Scott Wise also coming to pit road, able to keep himself out in front of Nicoletta, but he's in danger. I mean, he is still 42 seconds back from the race leader, so very close to being a victim of your race leaders and falling off of the lead lap. Here comes Scotty Brown in that 74 to F-150. He is the only Ford in this field here tonight. Can Scotty Brown do the blue oval proud? Jump around the track once again. What do you say, race fans? There you see Mark Bruni beginning to close in on Anthony Keys. Casey Duncan just off in front of him. Colin Forrester sliding in a solid 4th position right now. He's got a little bit of ground to make up to get back to AJ Green. Top 2 drivers have stepped away over a 2-second gap from Moore. Back to Green is now down to the bottom of the racetrack. You can see that 61 with a little bit of scrapes on the driver's side. He's had some contact with another truck, but still Bruni fighting hard as he's up now 5 positions. He'll take that 6th spot away from the Serve Pro time mark 14 of Anthony Key. There you can see just off in the distance just how far away the front of this field is right now. Andrew Moore, Kevin Dick stepping away. We'll take a look at him here. Coming off of turn number 2, just about a trunk lead, separating your top 2 drivers on track with only 11 left to go here in the Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast stage number 2. And Ryan Nicoletta, man, he's fighting hard right here, but now he is at a disadvantage because the 52 has caught him. He's got a little sniff of that draft. And I tell you what, why don't we go on board now with the driver sitting in second. Another onboard camera shot here. Catching some of the banking, letting you feel some of the track here tonight inside of his Golf Racing Fuel 77 Toyota Tundra. Andrew Moore following Kevin Dick, and they will put Ryan Nicoletta 1 lap down. The 59 will fall into the lucky dog position. As long as he can keep himself close to these race leaders, he should have a shot at that YJ Esports lucky dog position at the end of stage number 2. But for the time being, everybody continues to chase that fast 52 Chevy Silverado. The Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast machine leads the way. Lap number 31 now goes on the board. AJ Green and Colin Forrester are going to break off. They're going to head to pit road, and we're going to jump back outside the truck. What do you say we watch this battle unfold here? Andrew Moore hasn't really looked to capitalize on this second position, really jumped to the front of the field. Looks like he's just kind of playing it safe, content to run right behind Kevin Dick in that 52 machine. Let's take a look up at the tail end of Kevin's machine. What do you say? Oh, that's not it. And there it is. Great look back off of the tail end over the rear deck lid and spoiler at that. Toyota Tundra of Andrew Moore running well here tonight. Kevin leading the most laps. He's very close to already securing that Wise Choice Contracting Frontman Award for leading the most laps here tonight. And it's been a heck of a race for him. I mean, he's been out front, class of the field for the majority of the night. And he looks to continue his domination here at the Tricky Triangle Cutoff race. Man, your championship contenders. Let's get back to some of that. Let's get into how things are shaping up here. Kevin in that 52, he's already slotted in. And if he didn't have that win in the first race of round number 2, he would still pretty much be locked in coming into tonight's race, 68 points above the cutoff line. Kevin has not much of anything to worry about. He will race for the championship next Friday night from Nashville Super Speedway. But Andrew Moore, Anthony Keys, AJ Green, next 3 drivers in line inside of that championship for above the cutoff. AJ Green is that cutoff man running back in 11th position. Green right here on screen, the furthest back running championship contender right now, the only championship contender outside of the top 10. But as we mentioned in pre-race, he's got a 42-point buffer zone back to Chris Scala. So Scala, even if Green right now were to park the machine, Scala would have to still get to victory lane to walk away with a chance for a championship. So let's jump to these 2 drivers that are in absolute must-win situations right here. That Chicago Blackhawks 13 machine of Jim Thorndike, now up 4 positions from where he qualified outside of the top 10. Thorndike now sits in 8th with Chris Scala right in tow. The Serve Pro 33 machine needs to get to victory lane as well, following championship hopeful in front of him. Chris Scala has lost a handful of positions from where he started tonight. Qualified 5th, running in 9th. We've got ourselves just about 6 or 7 laps remaining here in stage number 2. And then drivers will reset, recharge, refuel, rehydrate, and get ready to re-rack them and run it down to the end in tonight's Where's Turn 4 200 right here from the Tricky Triangle Pocono Raceway and the beautiful mountains of Pocono, Pennsylvania, the honeymoon capital of the world. If you don't believe it, Google it. I promise you, it's a real thing. It's a true thing. A lot of honeymooners coming here to the Pocono area, and I don't think we're going to have any honeymoons here tonight. I don't think there's going to be too many kissing and hugging at the end of tonight's race. Everybody may come to fighting words if they have to. I mean, you got to do what you got to do if you're Thorndike or Scala, so look for some fireworks out of these 2 drivers. Look for them to try to make their way up through this running order, as now the 61 of Mark Bruni comes to the attention of his crew with just about 6 laps remaining in stage 2. We may have some strategy unfolding. We're going to keep it right here with this battle for just a moment, race fans. This is the battle, 7th, 8th, and 9th on the speedway. It's your closest battle out there. We're keeping our eye on the battle for that top spot. Andrew Moore in the 77, he's been right there on Kevin this entire time in stage number 2. Just hasn't really looked to take that top spot. If he gets any tighter, any closer, we'll jump back to the front. But there you go, Chris Scala now making that move on the inside of the 13 of Jim Thorndike. These drivers making their way around turn 3, and Scala will slide up the track and take that 7th position away. They still got to make up a lot of time here tonight if either one of them are going to want to continue their chances at the championship. Scala and Thorndike both in must-win situations, both running outside of your top 5. The man holding the Martin Sports Hard Charger Award right now, man on screen inside of that 17 Limeade machine. There you have it. Casey ducking out of Seattle, Washington. Inside of that Limeade Toyota Tundra running in 3rd. He started, shot Shotgun Sally, tail end of the field, all the way back in 15th position, up 12 spots now. Duncan sits in 3rd. Jump around the track just a little bit once again as the Drift King brings his 15 Chevy Silverado down to pit road for his stop here in stage number 2, and we're seeing a theme here. Looks like a lot of these drivers pushing the envelope. They can get about, looks to be right around 17, 18 laps on the fuel. Ryan Nicoletta was able to stretch it 21 laps before coming to pit road, but remember there was a handful of caution laps that went into effect for Nicoletta to get that job done. And race leaders to pit road. Kevin Dick gonna give up that top spot. Andrew Moore gonna come down as well. Frank Reese looks to make a pass on Casey Duncan as Duncan comes to pit road. Reese still out there on track. Will he break for pit road or stay out? Looks like Reese will stay out in that Menards 37, and he will take over the race lead. That's going to be our 3rd new race leader of the night with 3 lead changes so far here in the Wares Turn 4 200. Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast stage number 2 getting ready to come to a close. Will Kevin Dick find a way to get back to the top spot and snatch both stage wins here tonight? Just a handful of laps to find out. Looking around, I want to look back here and see where everything shakes out. It doesn't look like that early pit stop really panning out for that 59 of Nicoletta. He is still well off pace, running 57-second lap times here. Nicoletta will get himself back on the lead lap, but he will be well behind the field as now the 37 of Reese looks to head to pit road. What does this 14 Serve Pro machine do? Oh, and Anthony Keys rolling the dice. He's going to keep it out a lap. He's going to lead a lap. That's going to be our 4th lead change. 4th different race leader here tonight. My goodness, what a night we have got. Clean and green racing all night long here tonight from the Tricky Triangle Pocono Raceway, hosting race number 16 out of the 17 race long season here for the Blown Piston Racing League Truck Series, brought to you by Banner Construction. Anthony Keys now leads this long, extended green flag pit cycle run. We've seen it start somewhere, it was right around lap number 34 or so, that we really got deep into the drivers beginning to head to pit road. Mark Bruning really kicking off this pit cycle. And Bruning now running back in 12th position. He's got a spot on Chris Scala for the time being, and going to take another spot away from Scotty Brown. Close little battle here. There you can see Kevin Dick and Andrew Moore going by the 13 machine of Jim Thorndike. Thorndike still yet to hit pit road here. Has not pitted here in stage number 2, and he's going to look to continue this thing on out. I would expect that he's going to be able to make it around at least one more lap, but this man right here with the strategy, getting it right. Anthony Keys will lead the field down into turn number 2. He's got one more corner to go. I know he's got to be saving fuel inside of that Dynamark Serve Pro 14. Anthony Keys, just one more corner to go, and we will crown a Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast Stage 2 winner, the 14. You can hear him. He's got the truck shut off. He's got it shut off, coasting right now, well off pace. He's going to kick the gas back in and cross the line, and that's going to do it right there. Walking away with the stage win here at the conclusion of the Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast Stage number 2. Oh, and it looks like maybe, there it is. There's the DeKalb Sycamore Chevy Buick GMC caution flag flying, coming to signify the end of stage number 2. And I do believe across the line first here was Anthony Keys, so he will get credit for that stage win. Anthony Keys gets the job done and walks away with the Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast Stage number 2 win, staying out. A little bit of a gamble, but the 14 gets the job done. I hope he's got enough fuel to get to pit road, though. Long way around this 2.5 mile tricky triangle. Job well done. Anthony Keys will walk away with a little bit of bragging rights, walking away with the stage win here tonight. And he will be heading to pit road this time around. And we're going to head to a brief commercial break once again, get things set up, ready to go for your final rundown for the checkered flag and the Where's Turn 4 200 here tonight from Pocono Raceway. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
We got big time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're gonna lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage. Looks like your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane. Press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
And back trackside as we have yet to receive the one to go here to kick things off for the final rundown and run to the checkered flag. Scott Wise playing some strategy. He's going to come to lead the race here as everybody, it looks like, now breaking for pit road. Kevin Dick leads Andrew Moore, Jacob Drifts, Chris Scala, Anthony Keys, Scotty Brown, Jim Thorndike, and Ryan Nicoletta all down to pit road for what we would assume to be just topping off of the fuel tanks, trying to make sure they can go an extra lap or two on this field. Scott Wise in a little bit of a predicament here. He was last to pit road on lap number 25, so he's got the older tires, but he's out front. Will the clean air be enough on the nose of that Chevy Silverado to keep him in that top spot? And how about the battle for the Martin Sports Hard Charger Award right now? Your top two drivers on track, Scott Wise and Casey Duncan. They've moved the most throughout this field. Wise up 12 positions, Casey Duncan up 13. He'll line up outside row number 1 for this latest restart. AJ Green, Colin Forrester back in row 2 Frank Reese and Mark Bruning with a good turnaround. Bruning will start third truck outside lane in that sixth position. Then a long string of trucks will line up behind him. Kevin Dick will lead the charge with drivers with the freshest tires and the most fuel in this field. Something we haven't really talked about here tonight so far is that Rookie of the Year standings, and it's a hard-fought battle between AJ Green and Colin Forrester. Those two drivers neck and neck, 10 points separating them in that Rookie of the Year standing, and they will start side by side for this latest restart. And there you go, pace truck down and away. Let's kick this thing off one more time. Green flag flies as Scott Wise nails the gas, and we get back under green flag racing conditions. Wise going to have to be careful about getting too far out there. Yes, he wants that clean air. He wants all the downforce he can get on the front end of that machine, but he doesn't want to give the run to the drivers behind. How about the 45 of Forrester? Cutting, slicing, dicing his way up through the field, to the bottom, and now 3 wide down the long pond straightaway, heading to turn number 2. They'll sort things out for the time being. As Rudy looks to the bottom of the racetrack, Casey Duncan sliding back a handful of positions. He's going to lose 2 spots already here, and now we look 3 wide to turn 3. Forrester with a move to the bottom. 3, almost 4 wide through turn number 3. Oh my gosh! Colin Forrester pushing the envelope down there on the bottom of the racetrack. Not quite able to grab that top spot. AJ Green will take the position for the time being, and we mentioned him right before we went to the green flag about the battle for that Rookie of the Year standings. 10 points separating Forrester from Green with only 2 races to go. That's a highly contested award and accolade here tonight. Which one of these rookies will separate themselves, or will a battle get a little closer as we head into the final race next week at Nashville Super Speedway? We are down to just about 35 laps to go here in tonight's race. The Where's Turn 4 200 in the Bloom Piston Racing League Truck Series, brought to you by Banner Construction. Season number 3 getting ready to come to a close. Just a short week left for these truck drivers to get ready for championship form. I mean, and Kevin Dick, he's been in championship form all season long. There you can see that 52 custom paints and die-cast machine making his way back up through the field. Started outside of the top 5, now moves inside, takes the position away from Mark Bruning, who falls back to 5th. Long string of truck drivers back there mixing things up, still trying to sort it out after our latest restart. Anthony Keys, Frank Reese, Andrew Moore, Scotty Brown all going at it. Let's look at this hornet's nest going on through turn number 2. In the eye of the kerfuffle down through the short shooting into turn number 3. Everybody smooth as chicken lips so far here tonight. Tricks seem to be staying underneath all of the drivers, so nobody really struggling with those handling issues. We've seen track temperature right around 77 degrees earlier at the start of tonight's race. Let's check in with the weather report real quick if we can. Let's go see if we can't find out how the track's looking and what the race conditions are. And there you can see the air temperature still right where it was, but as these drivers running these long green flag runs here tonight, they have oh my goodness, they have put some heat into the track. Doesn't look like it's really affecting too many drivers out there, so it looks like crew chiefs have been staying on top of the changing track conditions here tonight from Pocono Raceway. It's all a matter of who makes the right changes and the right calls at the right time. We should see green flag pit stops, at least 1, maybe 2 green flag pit stops in this final run down to the checkered flag tonight in the Where's Turn 4 200 right here from the Turkey Triangle Pocono Raceway. most of the field begins to get single file. Watching the battle now, Ryan Nicoletta right here in that 59 machine trying to run down Chris Scala. Looked to go to the inside for just a moment, thought better of it. Battle between Jim Thorndike and Brandon Alpin, now 11th and 12th on the speedway, as Alpin's actually going to lose the position to the serve pro 33 of Chris Scala. And we've got a change in the race lead right here. We watched it. We were watching other drivers. We apologize back through turn number 2. Colin Forrester was able to grab that top spot and take away the position from AJ Green. That's going to leave us with yet another lead change here tonight. That's going to be our 8th different lead change amongst 5 different drivers. Only 2 caution flags on the evening here tonight, both for stage ending purposes. The DeKalb Sycamore Chevy Buick GMC caution flag has been light tonight, and the field has been on their toes, getting the job done all night long. Tell you what, let's go back around the track. Let's check out some of the battles. We'll jump back here once again with Anthony Keys. Andrew Moore going at it. There's Chris Scala making his way by Frank Reese. Reese running high through the corner that time by. That's going to open up the door as well for Brandon Alpin, who's now down to the bottom of the racetrack looking for a position. Not quite going to get it here on turn number 3. Scala and Drift getting ready to go at it. 33 of Chris Scala beginning to close in on the 15. High line works for Frank Reese down the front stretch, and there it is. Jacob Drift in that 15 machine, able to make up some ground, and he's on the verge of taking that 8th position away from the only blue oval in the field. The only Ford F-150 out there is Scotty Brown, representing the Ford stable strong here tonight in the 8th position. He's been running well all night long. Look for Brown to have a solid finish here tonight from Pocono as we move in to just under 30 laps remaining. And I tell you what, the battle at the front has not went away either. Colin Forrester, AJ Green still going at it. Casey Duncan right there in 3rd with Kevin Dick. And 4th and Mark Bruning rounding out your top 5. Let's go up here to this little short battle. As Bruning begins to close in on the battle in front, there's Casey Duncan and Kevin Dick. That's the battle we really want to look at, as Jacob Drift now looks to the inside of Scotty Brown back in the background. That's going to be a pass for position. Jacob Drift will move into the 8th spot, now taking that spot away. AJ Green all over your race leader's rear bumper. The Dairy Queen Motorsports drivers playing nice here tonight so far, but when it comes to the checkered flag, when it comes to a race win, what will happen? How will it go down? We've got a little strategy here out of that 13 of Jim Thorndike. We said he may have to play some strategy games here tonight, and that is coming true here now, as he's already been to pit road for one of his 2 final stops of the night. Thorndike coming down to pit road back 3 laps ago on lap number 50. And that's going to begin the green flag pit stops as Scotty Brown comes down this time around. Colin Forrester moving around on that front stretch, trying to break the draft, trying to find a way to get away from that 43 of AJ Green, but Green not having any of it. Casey Duncan stays in line with Kevin Dick right behind him. And it looks like Kevin just content to run right here in that 4th position and maybe extend the fuel run here by staying in the draft, able to lift off a little bit and save a little bit of fuel over the course of this green flag run so far here tonight. Green flag action all night long. I mean, that's got to say something. You got to give it out and give it up to these drivers here tonight. If you haven't already, show them some love and appreciation. Show them you like all the content and action out there on the track. Drop them that thumbs up. And as always, join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Go ahead and drop those drivers that thumbs up. Click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, getting notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're just sliding through to say hey, or you are one of the dedicated fans, friends, and family from maybe one of the many different sponsors across the many different leagues here on the Turn 3 Racing Network on the world's #1 racing simulator, iRacing.com. So if you haven't already, you know you want to go ahead and drop them that thumbs up. Close battle at the front still underway. Forrester and Green going at it, trying to separate themselves from the drivers behind. And whoa, here comes a look to the inside. Green wants that top spot back. Will grab it through the center of one. That was really close here. And we've got another lead change at the front. That's going to give us 9 lead changes here tonight, still amongst 5 different drivers. Things through the tail end of the field beginning to sort themselves out. Gaps beginning to build up. And we've got championship drivers behind right now looking for a way out, looking for a way into victory lane. Jim Thorndike is watching his championship slowly slip from his grips. Thorndike outside of your top 10 all the way back in 13th. He's got a long road and a long haul ahead of him. As now it looks like Casey Duncan has a little bit of electrical issues. Duncan falling through the field. And oh, there he goes, popping back in line. Casey Duncan still running in that 4th position, but a little bit of magic band moment puts Kevin Dick up into that 3rd position. Mark Bruning going at it with Andrew Moore. Let's take a look at this battle. That's going to be 5th and 6th on the raceway. Down to the bottom of the racetrack is that 77 Golf Racing Fuel machine, and not quite going to clear. Crowding Bruning up at the line, up at the wall. Close quarters racing here between the 61 and the 77. Andrew Moore down to the bottom, still trying to take that position away. Not going to have it. They'll drag race to the line with 25 laps to go. "25 laps to go. Is it time to make your move to the front?" There you can see in the background the big gaps that have developed throughout this field. Jacob Drift with a 2-second gap back to Chris Scala, driver in need of a race win to move on and chase after his championship hopes and dreams here in season number 3 for the Blown Piston Racing League Truck Series, brought to you by Banner Construction, but not really able to make any headway right now. Scala behind the 8 ball with a very short amount of time left here tonight. Still well over the 50 miles remaining as we've got 24 laps to go here at this 2.5 mile tricky triangle in the Wares Turn 4. The 200 brought to you by Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast. AJ Green still shows the way. Green came into tonight's race sitting on the bubble, kind of a safe, secure bubble, though. 42 points separating himself from the drivers on the outside looking in. So Green pretty much just needed a solid top 5 here tonight to point his way in, as long as Scala or Thorndike did not make it to victory lane. And right now the 33 and the 13 both struggling to get to the front of this field. And a long way to go still here tonight. Drivers will have to make at least one more pit stop. Everybody inside of your top 10 yet to make their final stop of the race. With Jim Thorndike coming to pit road on lap number 50. I think he may end up having to come back down to pit road once again. We'll have to wait to see if that the 13 Chicago Blackhawks machine is able to stretch it 30 laps on the fuel. We haven't seen a 30-lap run all night long, but you never know how much these drivers were leaving in the tank. Leaving nothing to chance right now, though. Pounding the pavement in front of the field, building that gap. 1/10 of a second advantage now belongs to that 43 machine of AJ Green. Green begins to step away. Truck begins to step out a little. We're seeing a little bit of sliding going on out of the tail end of these trucks as the track has begun to heat up. We've already seen an increase of, what is that, about a 13-degree increase up to 90 degrees on the track here from 77. So the grip levels are changing out there tonight for these truck drivers, along with the handling of the trucks as they get a little lighter in the tail end with the fuel beginning to burn off. Kevin Dick slowly but surely reeling in your race leaders. Your U.S. Veterans Pole Award winner here tonight, also walking away with, also walking away with the Wise Guy Racing Graphics Stage 1 win. Missed the Stage 2 win by just a little bit off on the fuel count there, but now making his way back up through the field, running in third, looking for second is Kevin Dick, and I believe it's going to be a short-lived battle here with just 20 laps to go. 1 second advantage now for your race leader over Colin Forrester. Kevin Dick still beginning to reel in Forrester. Casey Duncan in that Lime 817 Toyota Tundra running well here tonight, leading the trio of Tundras on the track. There you can see Casey Duncan, Andrew Moore, Mark Bruning all lined up on the track. All three of your Toyota drivers are inside of your top six. It's Chevys and Toyotas at the front of this field. And we got drivers to pit road. Drivers coming to pit road. AJ Green, Colin Forrester break from those top two spots down to pit road this time by. That's going to hand over that race lead once again to the Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast 52 of Kevin Dick. That's going to be our 10th lead change of the night. Only 2 stage break caution flags here from Pocono Raceway. The tricky triangle, and oh my gosh, there it is. First incident on track here tonight. Going to slow down the racing action with 19 laps to go. And how good is the timing for AJ Green and Colin Forrester? They were both onto pit road when that caution flag flew. They will have the opportunity. There you see him rolling off of pit road right here. And as they made their way to pit road, they'll roll off the pit road in the same order. But these two drivers, they may be sitting in the catbird seat right here. Both of these drivers just came off of pit road. They will have enough fuel and tires to get to the end. They will not have to come back down to pit road, but everybody else in this field will be visiting pit road. And man, what a, you can't time it better. There you can see the 17 machine getting himself one of his laps back. I believe that was the 17. Yeah, there you can see the 17 of Casey Duncan. Well, no, not getting him. Not getting a lap back. It looks like he's actually going to take over the race lead here. A little bit of an interesting aspect here, as Kevin Dick was your race leader. And oh, there you can see now Casey Duncan begins to fall back through the field and get himself into the proper running position. 18 laps to go. We'll have ourselves about 15, 16 laps to the end of tonight's race when we drop that green flag once again. And although these drivers will have some of the freshest tires on track, AJ Green, man, Colin Forrester, both of those drivers just came to pit road on lap number 61. Frank Reese and Brandon Alpin also to pit road on lap number 61. Unfortunately, it looks like Alpin pulling his machine behind pit road, so his night will be done. In the closing stages here of the Where's Turn 4 200, Scotty Brown, the one lone wolf inside that Ford F-150, the blue oval, is done for the night as well. Trouble relegates Brown to the garage. And out of tonight's race, we've got 2 retirements on tonight. 13 drivers still out there on the track. 13 drivers on the lead lap. Everybody down to pit road, and that's surprising. Actually, that's surprising to see AJ Green and Colin Forrester come down to pit road after just being on pit road, but maybe just wanting to keep themselves in the same tire strategy as the gentleman at the front. And strategy play, Jacob Drift will roll off of pit road with the race lead there. You can see him trying to catch up with that Chevy Silverado pace truck. My good buddy Travis Smith, a little bit of a light night behind the wheel here tonight in that Chevy Silverado pace truck, but Jacob Drift getting the job done. He'll grab the top spot. He'll go back to the point for the second time here tonight. And it looks like Drift, he already got his tire, so this time around, just topping it off with fuel. AJ Green, Colin Forrester, both topping off with fuel as well. They'll rejoin the race back in second and third. Kevin Dick, first driver with 4 fresh tires in the field, will roll off in row number 2 outside. In that 4th position, Andrew Moore, Casey Duncan, Mark Bruning, Chris Scala, Jim Thorndike, and Ryan Nicoletto will round out your top 10. As long as everybody stays out on track and doesn't come down to pit road for one final stop. And just like that, Jacob Drift gives up that top spot. Gives up the top spot again. AJ Green goes back to the point. Looks like we've got a few more takers back through the field. Looks like Jim Thorndike, Frank Reese are both joining Jacob Drift down to pit road. And the iRacing Chevy Silverado pace truck lights have been cut off. We are ready to go back. Green flag racing this time around. It's going to be a short 15-lap shootout to the end of tonight's race. And it all comes down to this. AJ Green sitting pretty right now above that cutoff line. He's just got to finish tonight's race, but what he's got to watch out for is the man back there in 7th, the 33 of Chris Scala, looking to find a way to victory lane. Scala has not been to victory lane all season long. Can he get the job done when he needs to, when it's the most important, and punch his ticket into the next round? And with the way the field is running right now, if Scala or Thorndike were able to get to victory lane right now, AJ Green would still point his way in, as he is just 1 point back from Anthony Keys and just 9 points back from Andrew Moore. And both of those drivers, well, they're running behind him right now. So as they run, Anthony Keys would end up out of your championship for if either Scala or Thorndike can find a way to get to victory lane. We've still got a long way to go. Over 30 miles left in the Wares Turn 4 200 here tonight for the Blown Piston Racing League's final cutoff race in the championship rundown here in season number 3. And here we go. Green flag flies. Once again here at Pocono Raceway, everybody chasing that 43 of AJ Green down into turn number 1. High side single file now. Kevin Dick, only driver with an opportunity at the front on the bottom of the racetrack. 3rd place, not going to quite make the move. He'll stay in 3rd for the time. Whoa, and Mark Bruning gets super sideways. Bruning super sideways in contact into the outside wall with Ryan Nicoletto. I believe that was Ryan Nicoletto right there. Contact with Mark Bruning. Those 2 drivers argue over real estate. That's gonna hurt some chances here. That's gonna hurt some chances. Hurt the run by Anthony Keys. Anthony Keys struggling a little bit now. Your Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast Stage 2 winner has struggled to get back to the front. Now Keys are running in the 7th position, up 2 spots from where he restarted. Chris Scala creeping back into a top 5 position with 14 laps to go. Can he reel in those top 4? less than a half a second separating your top 4 drivers on the track. There you can see them all nose to tail. Tell you what, let's take a look off of the tail end if we can. There you can see AJ Green. He's got the company dialed in right behind him. Colin Forrester looking to make his way to the bottom. Not going to do it just yet. We'll stay nose to tail through turn number 2. Through turn number 3, I apologize. Back to the front stretch across the stripe. Still leading the race as we go. The 43 of AJ Green. Down into turn number 1. They'll fly right on by us. Everybody chasing that 43. Still your top 4 trucks. Still nose to tail off of turn number 1. Coming right at you. Right onto the back stretch. Single file racing action, but we've got to move now. Kevin Dick wants some more, and he's going to look to take a spot or 2 away. Diving down to the bottom of the racetrack, already grabbing that 3rd position now, looking for 2nd, sliding up the track. Close quarters racing with that Dairy Queen Motorsports 45 machine of Colin Forrester. Kevin Dick trying to move and work his way back to the top spot as moved into a podium position. And Chris Scala, he is reeling him in. Chris Scala and Scott Wise working with each other right here. Can the 31 and 33 somehow make their way back to these front 4 machines and give Scala a shot at walking away with a race win? He's been behind the 8 ball all night long, but with just 12 laps remaining, Scala has arrived. With a move to the bottom of the racetrack, looks like Wise wanted to take a look to the inside. Not quite going to get there. A little bit of looseness out of the tail end of that 33. You can see that machine step out just a little bit. The Serve Pro Chevy Silverado with a little bit of struggle here. Trying to keep the rear underneath the truck through turn number 2. Gave up a little bit of time, but still trying to run down that 77 of Andrew Moore because the rest of the field is right there. And now Kevin Dick looks back to the inside and once again on Colin Forrester. Battle for 2nd underway. Scala's got to like what he sees here. Those battles will bring the front of this field back into his clutches. Once again, give him a little bit better of an opportunity to get within striking distance. A few laps winding down. Patience wearing out. Championship hopes drying out. Will we see the chrome horn? Will we see some good old bump and run here from Pocono Raceway? The Tricky Triangle has hosted one heck of a race here tonight to set up your championship for moving into next week's championship night at Nashville Super Speedway. Mark it down on your calendars if you haven't already, race fans. I tell you what, if you just hit that fancy little bell over there on the right-hand side, well, you don't need a calendar. You'll get a nice, beautiful little notification from us right here at the Turn 3 Racing Network every time we get ready to go live, so you don't have to worry about marking it down on the calendar. No need for that. You'll get that nice little subtle notification letting you know that we're getting ready to go racing here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Kevin Dick not able to take that 2nd position away from Colin Forrester just yet. The Dairy Queen 45 machine has been running strong all night long here. Forrester looking for a way to gain some ground in that Rookie of the Year standings right now, but with AJ Green out front and with a 10-point lead in that Rookie of the Year standings, Forrester, he's going to have to find a way to try to close things up. And with the championship 4 battles heating up, with the Rookie of the Year standings battle heating up, let's not forget about that team championship standings right now. 5-9 Racing leading the team standings by 45 points over Dairy Queen Motorsports. 4X Racing right there in 3rd. 12 Prince Motorsports 4th. TI Racing back in 5th position for the time being. Really, it's a battle between Pine Eye and Dairy Queen Motorsports. 45 points separating those two teams, and with 2 races left, it's doable. But that Dairy Queen stable of drivers, they're going to have to be on top of their game. They're going to have to walk away with some great race finishes over the course of these final 8 laps. And next week's championship race at Nashville Super Speedway, that's going to be a great race, great racetrack out there in Nashville. I can't wait to get into the championship night racing under the lights at Nashville Super Speedway. Going to be one heck of a night, that's for sure. Colin Forrester still able to fend off Kevin Dick at the front for that second position. Chris Scala begins to fade a little bit. He has dropped Scott Wise and Jacob Drift, so Scala kind of all alone right here. Looks like he needs a little bit of help as these drivers continue to battle in front of him. That will help just a little bit, but with them still in the draft, Scala will struggle to get back up there. He's got the gap down under 1 second, so he's going to have a little sniff of the draft off the tail end of that 77 of Andrew Moore. There you can see that Golf Racing Fuel 77 making his way off of turn number 1 down the long pond straightaway back to turn number 2. And here we go, everybody coming into the picture here down into turn number 2. Beautiful little bump right there, looking through turn number 2 into the tunnel turn. Chasing after race leader AJ Green at the front as they make their way to our favorite, your favorite, turn 3 here at Pocono. Do want to take a moment to say thank you to all the track officials as well. Allowing us to go out there and put some great camera shots out on the track. Closer to the action, down back into turn number 1. Once again, the field following AJ Green at the front with just 6 laps remaining. Drivers work their way off of turn number 1 and down the long pond straightaway. Long run to one of the trickiest, toughest, almost flat turns here on the circuit. Turn number 2 and Pocono can give a hand for the drivers some fits, but all of these Truck Series drivers have got it figured out here tonight. Back to turn number 3. Carson is able to keep that second position. Oh, and here we go. Championship implications underway, and Chris Scala will lose a spot. Jacob Drift will take over 5th position. Will Scala try to utilize a little bit of a toe to run down the drivers at the front? He's got to find a way to victory lane. He's only got a little over, I believe, about 12 miles left in 5 laps here from the tricky triangle. And who would have thought it with the way that 52 dominated the opening stage here tonight? Who would have thought that he'd be stuck in the 3rd position with 5 laps left, not really able to go anywhere, with Andrew Moore tucked in line right behind him, where pretty much that 77 has been the entire night here. And as we cross the line, 4 laps remaining, a little bit of house cleaning and run down. 15 drivers took to the field here tonight for the Where's Turn 4 200, brought to you by Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast for the Blown Piston Racing League Truck Series, powered by Banner Construction. And I don't know. I don't know if Kevin Dickens going to make that move or not. Obviously, if you're Colin Forrester, you got to get yourself up there. You got to try to do something to pass AJ Green to give yourself a little bit better of a shot heading into the championship race next week at Nashville. But as we were saying, 15 drivers to the grid here tonight. 13 still out on track, 13 still on the lead lap. Ryan Nicoletta struggling with a little bit of pace. He's about a half a lap down as now AJ Green starts to assert himself in the final few laps. We've got 3 remaining here from Pocono. Great clean race here tonight from Pocono Raceway. We've seen the Cobb Sycamore Chevy Buick GMC caution flag fly 3 times here tonight, but 2 have been for stage ending purposes. Only 1 on-track incident here tonight brought the field under caution, so a great race by all of these Truck Series drivers. And here comes that move from Kevin Dick. We knew he was going to make a move at some time, but when was he going to do it? And he's going to move on now. Kevin Dick will take that second position away. Colin Forrester now having to deal with Andrew Moore looking to the inside, trying to follow that 52 through turn number 3 back across the stripe. Popsicle sticks on display for your race leaders at the front of the field. Just 2 laps remaining here from Pocono. Final 2 laps underway as your top 4 drivers make their way down the long straightaway and into turn number 2. Will Kevin Dick pounce, or will he wait till the final lap? Everybody in the front clean and clear through turn number... Whoa! 45 of Forrester almost pounds that outside wall. He'll keep the truck underneath him, but he will lose a ton of ground here. Momentum very big at Pocono, and here we go off of turn number 3. Coming to the stripe for the final time. White flag in hand, and there it is. A white flag flies. Final lap. We've got the 1 to go here at the Blown Piston Racing League, brought to you by Banner Construction. Big mix-up at the front. Kevin Dick tried to go to the bottom. Big block by AJ Green. Forces Dick back to the top. They'll go side by side off of turn number 1 and down the long pond straightaway. It's a drag race with Kevin Dick having the advantage. 43 of AJ Green. Oh, contact! Will they keep... Oh my gosh, look at the run the 77 got. Andrew Moore now fighting for second, looking to drop to the inside. Here comes that Golf Racing Fuel 77 machine down to the bottom through turn number 3. We've got another pass and contact between Green and Kevin Dick. That sends the 52 around, and the 77 walks away with the checkered flag. Andrew Moore will head to victory lane. Let's take a look back at the contact, though. Kevin Dick with trouble in the final corner. We'll take one more look at this replay between your race leaders through turn 3. There's the contact. Kevin Dick, big spin and hard lick on the back end of that 52 machine. Oh, right in front of a handful of other drivers, and he's going to fall well through the running order. Tough break there for that 52. A little bit of a victim of circumstance, but back to the man at the front, walking away with yet another checkered flag. Going to be his second checkered flag on the season. The Toyota Tundra driver inside of that Golf Racing Fuels machine heading to victory lane. He'll come to the front stretch and give the fans in the stands a smoke show for the final time before we go championship racing. How about the job well done? He pounced on the opportunity and snatched that race win. Sold out, packed house was treated to great finish here at the Tricky Triangle. And as he burns it down, we're going to step away, get things set up, and ready to go for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside, as we mentioned and as we said, what a conclusion here from Pocono Raceway. The tricky triangle did not disappoint. Race number 16 now in the bag. What a treat coming to the checkered flag. And I tell you what, let's see if we can't catch up and have a few words with some of the driver that finished in those top positions. Let's see if we can't dial up and have a few words with the driver inside of that 45 machine. Colin, it's Dave. You got me?
Yes, sir, I do, Dave.
Hey, man. How you doing? How you feeling after a solid finish here tonight? Walking away third here from Pocono.
It's definitely a solid finish. Just podium, just pretty clean race. Just 0 wrecks from me. Nothing really involving me in the race. Just kind of ran my own race and just stayed there till the end and just managed to sneak out a spot there with AJ and Kevin's deal, which I'm sure will be interesting to see with them two being in the championship race next week.
I mean, I don't want to speculate or anything, but things may boil over into next week's race, and we all like a little bit of controversy, so not gonna dwell on that too much. But let's get into your season so far here. We're down to the final race next week at Nashville Superspeedway. You're in a battle for that Rookie of the Year standings. You came into tonight's race just 10 points behind AJ Green, who finished just in front of you. Do you think you got what it takes when we head to Nashville to leapfrog him in that Rookie of the Year standings and to walk away with that award?
It's hard to say. It depends how many people show up. If we have 12 people or whatever we had tonight, I think the odds are pretty low that it happens. But I mean, you never know. Something could happen between AJ and Kevin, but I don't think that's likely. Probably just run smooth. Nashville Superspeedway is definitely not my best track. Haven't really ran very many laps there, so definitely doing some practice during this week and just trying to figure out the track, the best way to run around there. But fun race overall. Look forward to next week in the season finale. Disappointed that I'm not running for the championship, but I'll be running for the rookie standings, so I could try and get that, and if not, it's been a good season overall, though.
Absolutely. We couldn't agree with you more. You and your 45 crew have visited Victory Lane 2 times here so far this season. You walked away with a race win last week at North Wilkesboro, so a great year for you guys. As you said, unfortunately not in it for the championship, but you could still walk away with some season-ending hardware with that Rookie of the Year award if you're able to capture that next week at Nashville. So, Colin, again, congratulations on the 3rd place finish here tonight. But before we let you go, would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Shout out to my dad for watching. Shout out to you for doing the broadcast. I'm sure a great job like usual. Shout out to my teammate AJ who's here tonight. Also shout out to Curtis because he was helping me with spotting, and Kevin as well. He couldn't be here tonight. Also shout out to everyone in the league for having me. I look forward to these races every week, and hopefully we can put on a good one next week at Nashville Superspeedway in our last race.
Absolutely. Well, Colin, again, congratulations on the great season. Congratulations on the great run here tonight from Pocono, and we'll see if we can't talk to you at the end of next week's championship night in Nashville.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Final parting words from the driver walking away 3rd here tonight. Colin Forrester puts that 45 in a podium position and sets himself up in a tight battle for that Rookie of the Year award next week, heading into the final race of the season. And he's going to be battling it out with this man right here. Let's see if we can't grab a word or two with the driver that finished in 2nd here tonight. AJ, it's Dave. You got me?
I got you.
Hey, man. How you doing? How you feeling after a solid night?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. That last lap definitely might bite me in the butt next week, but hopefully things get resolved, but I don't think they will.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, it happens. It was hard racing at the end with all of us on that green flag run from the caution and tires going into effect. I feel like if I maybe chose if I didn't block him low and I was on the outside of one on turn 1, I think I could have got the run and might have not had to worry about so much stuff. But I chose to block, and that kind of put me at a bad position on the bottom. And well, in turn 2 was just awful because I was at a bad entry.
Well, AJ, a little bit of controversy. I mean, you mentioned it at the end of the race. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Things happen. You know what I'm saying? Next week, we'll see how it plays out for you. But more importantly, you walk away with the second place here tonight. You secured your chance at a championship trophy. You came in on the bubble, the last driver in the top 4. You got a chance for the championship next week at Nashville. Chance to snatch the Rookie of the Year award as well. If you had to pick one, which one would it be?
I'd probably say championship.
I like it.
You know, just there's more at stake for it. I think it's just, you feel better if you win it, the whole championship of the season. But it's never bad to win the Rookie of the Year as well.
Yeah, never a bad thing to walk away with any kind of hardware at the end of a long, hard-fought season. AJ, it's been a pleasure watching you all season long, just battling your way up through the running order and through the point standings, just doing what you got to do when you need to do it, and you've gotten the job done week in, week out. Congratulations on yet another podium finish. Congratulations on making it into the championship 4. And before we let you go, you want any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, shout out to Colin. He was putting on a lot of defense there at the end. Shout out to my parents. They were watching. You for broadcasting, Scott for putting on the league, and sorry to Kevin. Hopefully, that gets to him.
All right, my man. Well, again, AJ, congratulations on the great season, and we'll see if you've got one more great finish in you at Nashville next week. We'll try to catch up with you trackside. Until then, my man, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. 43 of AJ Green walks away with a podium finish. A little bit worried about the contact between himself and the 52 of Kevin Dick, wondering whether that's going to boil over into next week's race at Nashville Super Speedway. We won't know till we get there, and I'm sure we will find out. AJ Green with a shot at the championship and a good shot to walk away with the Rookie of the Year award. The 43 finishes tonight's race back in second, and that's going to move us right along with the man that parked it in victory lane for the second time this season inside of that 77 Golf Racing Fuels Toyota Tundra. Andrew, it's Dave. You got me.
Yeah.
Man, how you doing after that race win? Yeah, really coming right there in turn 3, man. What a last corner, huh?
Yeah, I didn't dominate this race by any means, but I was there at the end. Led one lap, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not how many you lead. It's did you lead the last one, and yet, or how long you led either. I mean, you walked away with the checkered flag, so nobody's going to be able to take that one away from you, regardless of the situation and circumstances. You came into tonight's race already pretty much locked into that championship 4 on the point standing side of things. But how sweet is it to walk away with a race win in round 2 and kind of just like have some momentum to lean on?
Yeah, I've got it locked in. The top 4 didn't really change, so that was nice. I mean, pretty sure Kevin won this race, but just kind of let me up there. But yeah, I kind of feel like Alex Bowman. I just was there, and it opened up. The last couple laps were pretty crazy. I can't believe they're racing that much for it.
Well, oh man, the Bowman comment has got me going a little bit here. It's got me laughing a little bit. We do apologize about that, but I mean, whether you back into one or not, the fact is you got one.
Yes, we did. I'll take those every time.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to be your second race win on the season. We already talked about that. Now, next week, let's shift gears and focus here. You walk away with some momentum from a tough, tricky little track here at Pocono Raceway to a much different style of racing at Nashville Super Speedway. Not a true super speedway, but is a very quick, short track How are you and your 77 crew going to approach next week's race? Are you worried about stages at all? Points are out the window when it comes to stages. Is it just about that checkered flag in the championship?
Yeah, yeah, mostly just about the checker flag. I'm going to try to keep some decent track position throughout the stages. And I think maybe the last stage will be more about maybe saving either fuel or tire, and either trying to cut out a pit stop or trying to make it last till the end.
All right, well, Andrew, it's been one heck of a season for you and your 77 crew, as we already said here tonight. Your second win on the season coming at the right time, right before we get ready to go championship racing, so the momentum hopefully carries over for you. And before we let you go and celebrate here tonight in the honeymoon capital of the world, didn't know if you knew that, but now you do. You want to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous before we get ready to go championship racing next week?
Absolutely. Shout out to my team, Ryan and especially Kevin. We know who won this race tonight. Torque Wrench Motorsports, Scott Lauren, Dave in the Cave, any friends or family that are watching, and my brother.
All right, my man. Well, if that's it, we'll let you go. Let you get on to the rest of the post-race interviews you got lined up and all the celebrating throughout the night. Congratulations once again, Andrew, and we'll look forward to possibly catching up with you in Victory Lane next week at Nashville.
Yeah, we're going for it. Talk to you later, Dave.
All right, there you have it, Andrew. Doesn't really feel like he won the race. Kind of feels like he backed into one. You know where that quote comes from. We'll just leave it at that one. But there again, it doesn't matter. He's the one with the checkered flag in hand. He's the one they're going to be making the race-winning diecast about. Andrew Moore puts it at the top spot at the end of tonight's What Turn 4 200 here from Pocono Raceway. What a night. What a race we had. What a treat. The fans in the stands were treated to tonight. I mean, just that last lap, last corner, you can't ask for much more coming to a checkered flag than some hard-nosed racing action between some very tight, close drivers, not only on track all night, but in the point standings. Man, what a night it was. What a race here from Pocono. And you can hear now that music beginning to play in the background, so the producers hitting the buttons. You know the tunes, you know the sounds, you know it's time to round down tonight's unofficial race results right here from Pocono Raceway, walking away with the top spot in the What Turn 4 200 in the Blown Piston Racing League Truck Series, presented to you by Banner Construction. Andrew Moore grabs the checkered flag for the second time this season and walks away in first. AJ Green slots home in second, with Colin Forrester rounding out your podium drivers back in fourth place. The 15 of Jacob Drift slotting home in fifth and rounding out his top five, coming up just short on the championship side of things. The 13 of Jim Thorndike finishes in fifth. Chris Scala back in sixth. Seventh place tonight here from Pocono belongs to the 14 of Anthony Keys. Casey Duncan back in eighth, with Kevin Dick. Last lap, last corner trouble and contact relegates that 52 back to the ninth position. Rounding out your top 10 here tonight in his throwback turtlenecks, 31, Scott Wise. Mark Bruning will bring the 21 Pineapples Toyota Tundra home in 11th. 12th place tonight belongs to Frank Reese. Ryan Nicoletta back in 13th. 14th tonight from Pocono is the 20 of Brandon Alpin. And rounding out the field here tonight with early trouble, mechanical issues relegate Scotty Brown back to the garage. The 70 rounds out the field and finishes in 15th. Well, that's going to be it. That's going to do it for us here tonight from Pocono Raceway in the What Turn 4 200, brought to you by Facebook Custom Paints and Diecast. If you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Drop that thumbs up as always. Join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Drop these drivers that thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And with that being said, that being it, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.